Okay, we are here with our first winner of our first two-day major of the season on the Chicago Tour, Silver Lake Country Club. Once again, Mr. Matthew Payne taking home the trophy in the champ flight, shooting 73.70 for a two-day total of 2 over par. Came down to the wire a little bit. You and Jake just kind of pulled away from the field, and what I understand had a little bit of a shootout today. But you prevailed, so congratulations.
Thanks, Bill.
Once again.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
Congratulations, Matthew.
Thanks.
The Matthew Payne watch is now at +1 through 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Shooting 2 over.
Yeah.
You're 1 under coming into this tournament.
Yeah.
Tell me about the round today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I should use the time to talk about Jake Gary, who came in second. I mean, he made 5 birdies and an eagle. I had nine pars in a row to start, I think, and so I was just kind of sitting back watching him. And I said to Bill at the end, I've not felt pressure like that since college, and so really happy that the tour's kind of giving me that again. And he sunk a 60-foot putt on 18. I had to for birdie. I had to make a 10-footer, and luckily it dripped in the edge. So beaten by 1, but yeah, we had a blast today.
10-foot birdie on 18 to win it. There's no better way to win it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right. Our first two-day tournament of the season here at Silver Lake Country Club. We are here with our A-Flight winner, Ethan Ridings, shooting 77.74 for a two-day total, 10 over par. Came down to the wire a little bit. Saw you birdied 17 to give yourself a little cushion, made a par on 18. And now this nice trophy is yours. So congratulations. Thanks for coming out. Great round this weekend.
Thank you.
Ethan, congratulations.
Thank you.
I played with you yesterday. 77, not bad. Kept you in the hunt.
Yep.
And came out today and played even better. Tell me about your round.
It was good. Yeah, it was a little less eventful than yesterday. Stayed pretty consistent, not too many birdies, but, pretty consistent round.
74 is a heck of a score on any course. On the South course, it's a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what was the key to shooting 74 today?
Mostly the driver. It's just, if you hit the fairway, it shortens it up a bit, and, it was really tight out there. So a lot of dog legs and everything, but yeah.
Tell me your plans for the future.
Well, I'm going to Loris College to play golf. So yeah.
Well, good luck at Loris.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We are here at Silver Lake Country Club, our first two-day major of the season on the Chicago Tour with our B-Flight winner, Paul Chaplin, shooting 82.77 in the B-Flight to win by 3 shots for his first win of the year. So
thank you very much.
Pretty nice trophy for you.
Lovely.
Congratulations. Great round. Great playing.
Thanks for hosting and organizing everything.
Paul, great round today.
Thank you.
77. That's a heck of a score. Tell me the key to shooting 77 today.
The driver behaved a bit better today, and I hit a few hybrids off the tee. I think that probably helped. Yeah.
Outstanding. 3-shot win, birding 18. What did you
Yeah.
hit into the green in 18?
9-9.
9 iron. How
Yeah.
far away?
It was 129.
How far
Downhill.
away was your shot?
About 20 feet. I can't remember. Yeah. 15
Great,
feet.
great playing today.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right, back here at Silver Lake Country Club, our first two-day major on the Chicago Tour, and running away with the Sea Flight, and also making this back-to-back wins. Randall Oaks, you won the one-day event, and now winning the two-day here at Silver Lakes by 11 shots. Running away with the Sea Flight, Stan Mitchell, congratulations.
Thank you.
Super, super nice playing this
Thank
weekend.
you.
Great rounds.
you.
Great rounds.
Thank you. Stan, congratulations.
Thank you.
77.84. Is that what you shot?
78.
78.84. Great playing. Tell me about your round. What was the key to shooting 78.84?
So, well, yesterday the key was short game. I was getting up and down from everywhere, just chipping it within a couple of feet and making the putt. So it was fun.
One putts don't add up very fast.
No, they don't. Today wasn't quite as good as yesterday, but still made a lot of good shots
A
today.
nice steady 84 in C flight will get it done a lot of times, especially when you have a double-digit lead.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, our final winner of the day at Silver Lake Country Club, our first 2-day major of the season on the Chicago tour. Remus winning by 5 shots.
Woo,
I
thank
believe
you.
it was
Yeah.
5 shots, right? 87, 89?
Correct.
Correct. All right.
Yep.
Great playing this weekend.
Thank you.
Great having you out here.
Thank you. It was a
Appreciate
blast.
it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, great round.
Remus,
Good first time in Chicago.
congratulations.
Yeah.
First
First
event. First event in Chicago.
this year. Yeah.
And a winner.
Yep.
Breaking 90 twice in D flight. That's quite a feat. Tell me how did you break 90?
Again, my target was just shooting. Again, just don't do anything crazy. No big numbers. Bogey golf. So that's what deflators are. We're 19 handicap. So we're bogey golfers. And that's all I tried to do.
Shot bogey golf today.
Yep.
Good enough for the win. 5-shot win.
Yep.
What was the key to shooting 89?
Putting. These greens are tough. And just knowing the breaks. And yesterday I only had 1 3-putt. Today I think I only had 1 3-putt. And it was on 18.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. No 3-putts.
Welcome back to the Post Birdie podcast. With me, as always, tour director Bill Prusecki. Coming off the 2-day tournament at Silver Lake, the first major of the year. What'd you think of Silver Lake?
I thought it was, all things considered, thought it was a successful tournament. A little bit of slow play, a little bit of a delay on the first day, but sometimes that happens when we're playing pretty popular public golf courses like we sometimes do. But I thought the course was in fantastic shape, and I know a lot of people said that in the player interviews that you did over at Tommy T's on Saturday night. But it sounded like the common opinion was for as much play as those courses get, and they get a lot of play, like in the south suburbs, Silver Lakes is like, that's the place that is known for like the charity golf outing or lodge golf outing like we were following or whatever. Like they host so many outings and have so many events. So you would think that for a course that gets that much play, they would struggle with the condition, and I don't think they struggled with the condition at all. I thought the course was in phenomenal shape, especially the greens, to keep them rolling, as they weren't that fast. We've definitely played courses with faster greens, but I thought they were rolling pretty true in super, super good condition. And so, yeah, I thought the course was great. Staff over there is always tremendous. So yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, course was in fantastic shape, especially on the south course with as slopey as those greens are. They can't get them much faster than that, especially for as much public play as they have. If they get them fast, the rounds will just go on forever because you can't get the
Right.
ball to stop near the hole.
Right.
But you're right. They did roll so nice. And the fairways were very lush. We ended up playing the ball up all weekend.
I probably didn't need to, but I wasn't sure coming into the weekend. It stormed on Friday night, and I'm in the city, so I'm not near Orland Park. I wasn't sure how much rain they got. They said they got a lot of rain when I got there Saturday and was talking to them. They said they had gotten a lot of rain. And so I figured, all right, we made a good call then to play it up just in case. Probably didn't need to play it up on Sunday, at least at the start of the round. But in hindsight, I'm glad we did, because it turned out that the later groups, B, C, and D flight basically had to play the whole back 9 in the rain. And so, playing in the rain is never that fun for a lot of people, but if we had to play it down, might have made it even tougher for those guys. So at least they got to pull it up through that back 9. So it worked out. I mean, in hindsight, could we have played it down? Sure. But it was a little bit of a tough call going into the weekend. So we just erred on the side of caution and went with up. But I know that it helped me in a couple spots, because I had a couple mud balls, or maybe not mud, but like a little spot of dirt on the ball or something like that. I had one too, even on Sunday, where I was under like an evergreen tree, which were kind of all over that golf course. And if I didn't have my scorecard length to get me just out from under it enough so I could get a club on it and chip it back to the fairway, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have had to take an unplayable and who knows what. So it helped in spots. I'm sure I'm not the only one who was helped by it to maybe sneak out from behind a tree or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, could we have played it down? Sure, but not a big deal. Same rules for everybody. So yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helped out the lower flight guys towards the end of Sunday when the rains just came. I played probably the last 4 holes. I think it started raining on 15, that par 3 for us, and it didn't rain that hard until I got in the clubhouse, and then it really just opened up. So definitely the C and D guys, they weren't even to the turn yet for the last groups, and they just got drenched.
Right.
Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about what happened in the tournament. Matt Payne, once again, apparently he can also play in good weather.
I know. We were joking about that. How would he do? You know, a UK guy not playing when it's cold and windy, but no, it didn't matter to him. And he and Jake had quite the battle on Sunday, and so they actually came in 2 shots behind. But the leader, Steve Sullivan, I forget what he shot on Sunday. I think maybe 79 or 80. So not a great round. He dropped off. So it was basically Matt and Jake running away with it. But they had an up and down battle all day. Matt parred the first, definitely made 9 straight pars on the front 9, and I believe he parred 10 and 11 as well. So he was just steady, making pars all day. And then on the back 9, he, made a couple bogeys, couple birdies to eventually shoot even par. Jake was all over the place. If you look at his scorecard, I think he bogeyed the first hole, and then he birdied the second hole, and then he birdied 2 more, and then he made a double, and then he made another birdie. He had a classic like Jordan Spieth type of round with all kind of circles and squares. And so you had Matt just sort of saying steady the whole way, and Jake giving a couple shots back, picking them right back up, giving a couple shots back, picking them right back up. And the story that I heard from them is that they were tied on 18, and Matt hit one to about 10 feet, and Jake hit not a great one to like 40 feet. But of course, Jake drilled the birdie putt home and basically made Matt make his to win the tournament. And if he hadn't won the tournament, if he hadn't made it, then they would have gone to a playoff. And so he did make it. And so I was sorry I wasn't in their group to watch that, because it seemed like they had a great match, pulled away from the rest of the field, but Matt Payne taking it home again in champ flight.
It doesn't get much better than having to make a 10-foot putt right on top of somebody else's birdie to win a title.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Going down to A flight, we had a newcomer, Tommy T's son.
Yeah, Ethan Ridings, his first tournament of the year, shoots 77, 74. So 151 2-day total in the A flight is generally, if that doesn't win you the tournament, then it's going to get you close. And we were just talking about this before. He was actually tied for the lead on the 17th tee, made a birdie on 17, and then to take a 1-shot lead. And then it was Ryan Eckley's in second place, who's also a new member. And I believe they went par double on 18. So Ethan wound up winning by 3. But pretty much a tight battle all day long between the two of them as well. Ryan had a couple shot lead coming into the day, and then Ethan was able to shoot a 74 on Sunday and come away with the victory. But they both earned themselves promotions to champ flight. So the guy who finished third, Matt Fulcali, with a great round on Sunday, shooting 72 on Sunday to bump up to third place in the tournament, he's still your A flight points leader, because everybody else who wins an A flight seems to keep getting promoted to champ.
Yeah, he didn't play that well. I think he shot 84 day 1 and was in 11th place and moved from 11th place all the way to third place, shooting 72, I think it was.
Yeah, 72. And he was even lower than that. He was 2 under at one point. I think he was 2 under through 12, I believe. I think if I remember right, he played the front 9 and 1 under, and then he birdied the par 5, the 12th hole, like the 90-degree dogleg par 5. So I believe he was 2 under at that point. somewhere along the way, then he said he got in trouble, is behind a tree or something like that on one hole, and wound up making a double. But to shoot a 72, no matter what flight you're in, especially assuming that if you had to play the last 4 holes in the rain, I can't remember if he was ahead of you or behind you, but he probably also had to play the last couple holes in the rain too. So to shoot a 72 on that golf course in a tournament is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he was a group ahead of me, so he probably only had the last 3 in the rain. But he was behind a tree on 16. It was raining when he was on 16, most likely.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he gave a couple back, but I mean that was, to me, that was the round of the day. I think that was actually the second lowest round of the day. Matt Payne shot 70 in the champ flight, but I mean, I don't know. We expect Matt Payne to shoot even par. So the round of the day in my book for Sunday goes to Matt for sure with that 72.
Yeah, he better watch out. He's going to get bumped up to champ flight. Seems like everybody in A flight gets bumped up.
I know, right? He's where's he at? I just had this up. Well, he's got room. He's 7.6 on his handicap, but he's definitely got that game in the bag though, because the tournament that he won in February down in South Carolina, it was the same story. He was like 1 or 2 under through like 12 or 13, and then made a couple bogeys down the stretch. But I think he only shot. I think it was the same thing. I think he only shot 1 or 2 over final score in that round. So that game is in his bag someplace. He's just got to find it during the tournament rounds or for both days of a tournament. But the game is definitely in there for sure.
He keeps dropping 72s. That'll knock his index down real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Going to B flight, Paul comes out and shoots 82.77 to win B flight.
Yeah, and he was a couple shots behind. He was still in the last group on Sunday, or last group for B flight, but I believe he was 4 shots behind coming into the day. Because the first round leader was Nabil, who had shot 78, and Paul shot 82. Yeah. So, but firing a 77 on Sunday, winds up winning by 3, and yeah, he's your new points race leader, and he's a grinder too. He's a guy who loves to practice. I was actually talking with Paul knows Maddie from Cash and Maddie. They're both regular players at Mount Prospect Golf Club, and so they see each other there a lot. I think they've played a couple rounds together, all that. And I was talking to Maddie the other day, and he was saying that Paul is out there all the time. He's on the range, he's chipping and putting, and he's there like almost every day, just putting in the work, and paid off for him this weekend.
I am definitely one that likes to grind a lot too. However, I need to grind just so I can shoot 80. I'm not shooting 72. If I don't grind to shoot 80, I go out to Grand Haven and shoot 89.92. So
yeah, so I definitely envy the people who can throw up the good rounds without practicing, because I'm the same way. If I don't put in the practice, for the couple days before the tournament, at least, if not a week, then you're not going to see a good score from me. But I'm glad it worked out for Paul. I don't think it's been a minute since he won. I don't think he won one last year on tour. He had a lot of good finishes. I remember handing him a lot of gift cards for like 2nd and 3rd place. I don't think he got a win last year though. So it's been a minute since he's got a win. So good for him to get it in the first major and take the lead.
It's always great to see people who work hard at it get some success out of it.
Yeah.
Going down to C flight, Stan just ran away with it both days.
Yeah. Shooting 78 the first day. And that was actually, so I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before, but the scoring out of flight rules, which basically means, if you shoot a score that's more than 3 strokes lower in terms of handicap differential than the range of your flight, then it goes to committee to review. So his 78 actually went to committee to review. And obviously they vetted it because he's a regular on tour. He's played 20 something tournament rounds with us over the past couple years. It's not like he's not a new player who's coming out and throwing up a low score in the wrong flight, right? But it actually did go for review because it was such a great score for him, and he followed it up on Sunday. I mean, it wasn't another 78. It was I think he shot 84 on Sunday, which is still a great score for sea flight. But he's been on a run. He did the same thing last year too, right about this time of year. I remember last year he won at Randall Oaks, and then he won the Monday tournament we did at Eaglebrook Country Club, at the private club, and then he did not win at Silver Lakes, but I believe he finished pretty high at Silver Lakes. So he did the exact same thing last year, right around this time of the year. It seems to be where his game peaked. And so he's doing it again. He won it, backed up his title at Randall Oaks, won by 11 shots this past weekend. And so he's definitely on his game and, got the points race lead now by, it looks like 600 points or so. So right now he's the man to beat in C in Chicago.
And down in D flight, we had another excellent outing. Breaking 90 twice was Rimus.
Yeah, and that's generally speaking, if you break 90 in the D flight, you're gonna have a good chance of winning. And then if you do it twice, both days in a 2-day tournament, then yeah, that gave Remus the 5-shot lead, I believe it was, or a 5-shot victory. So Pat Kelly still has the points lead because he did finish second, and he played pretty well too, just not as good as Remus. So Pat Kelly still got the points lead, but Remus is right there picking up the 900 points and two great days of golf from him as well. And this was actually his first tournament locally because he's down in Florida through the winter months and through the spring, and so I don't think he actually came back to the area, to the Chicago area, until sometime last month. So this was his first one back for the season. But he's back now, and if he's gonna be playing like that, then he's gonna be he's gonna be somebody to be reckoned with in the D flight. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looking at the points leaders, back to champ flight, Luke still heavily in the lead with his 3 regionals, and he's played every tournament in Chicago,
right?
With a couple of wins in there. Also winning a regional, and he won at Blackthorn and finished second at right after that at Warren.
Right.
So he's still got a pretty big.
He's gonna be tough to catch because I mean, everybody knows Luke. Luke is gonna play every tournament, so he's usually the easiest way to pick up points is if the guy you're chasing doesn't play a tournament, right? But Luke's going to play them all. So we'll see if anybody can get him. Matt Payne is picking up all kind of points with all these wins, but he's not going to play in every event. He's not coming to Fire Lake and Deer Run, so he's going to miss a major. I don't know if he's going to play any regionals. I'm there, but I already missed 2. I missed Blackthorn and Warren, so I'm probably going to have to keep putting up some good rounds to see if maybe I can get him. And then next is Jake, but I don't believe Jake plans on playing any regionals. He's going to play all our locals, but I don't think he's going to play any regionals. So Luke's definitely in the driver's seat to make it. I think it would be 3 years in a row winning the points race and 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah,
so he's definitely in the driver's seat for that. But I don't know, a lot of season left, so we'll see.
If you don't remember, you can just look at his arm because he's got a tattoo on there for you.
Yeah.
And Mason Schultz, good outing this past weekend. He's in 5th place in the champ flight.
Yeah, I think he proved that he belongs in champ. I think he won the 2 tournaments in A and got bumped, but with the exception of Matt and Jake, who ran away with it in champ, Mason was right there with the rest of us. I think he only shot 1 or 2 shots lower than I did. And then there were people in champ behind. So he was basically right in the middle of the pack in champ flight. So in my view, that's his game is good enough for champ. That's where he should be. Can he beat Matt at some point to win a tournament? I'm not sure, but Matt's pretty tough to beat. So he's that's a tall task for all of us.
Yeah, Matt's played 4 tournaments. He has 3 wins. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I beat him at Thunderhawk, but I tell you that round I played at Thunderhawk was probably one of the best, not just competitive or especially a competitive round. That was probably one of the best rounds I've played, period, in a few years. Like I didn't hit too many shots at all that I missed, and I made a lot of feet of putts. I don't know what it would have been, like on PGA Tour when they track
Yeah.
like how many feet of putts you made. I don't know how many it would have been for me, but it would have been probably a triple digit number of feet of putts that I made. And I still only beat him by 2. So
that's what it's going to take to beat Matt.
exactly. Yeah, that's the kind of round you need to beat him. So it's good to have the challenge, though. I enjoy the challenge, but it's causing everybody to step their game up. That's for sure.
Moving down to A flight, Matt Fricali still in the lead.
Yeah.
A little bit of separation with finishing 3rd in a major. So he's a couple hundred points up. I'm in 2nd. Justin Smith, who missed this major, remains in 3rd. James Park played really well. Didn't putt that well on Sunday. I played with him. We had the same score, but he absolutely outplayed me and missed probably 2 or 3 short putts to shoot the same score I did, but he played way better than I did. So he had a really good tournament, and he finished higher than I did in the tournament. I think he might have been 6th or 7th, and he's currently in 4th place. And I also play with Quibis, who had a really good day 1, but struggled on day 2. And he rounds out the top 5 in A flight.
I mean, if I had to predict the future, I would say that it's between you and Matt for the A flight lead. And, I say that being, good friends with Justin, who's down in 3rd. But the advantage that you and Matt have is you're both going to play one more regional. I don't know if Justin's going to play any more regionals, maybe, but you both have a big lead on him, and you're going to play. I know you're going to Scottsdale, and I would assume that Matt's going to French Lick because he's played French Lick every year for the last few years. So I would assume he's going back there. So I would say I know it's early yet, but it's because it's still early June. But it's shaping up to be a 2-horse race, I think, between you guys and A. So we'll see what happens, unless we get a new contender who maybe wins a couple and jumps up there, which has happened in the past. But that's the way it's looking right now.
Yeah, we're both going to Big Cedar Lodge also. So both of us are going to
picking
play
up 2
3
regionals. Yeah. Yeah. So even more reason why, you guys are in the driver's seat then.
Yeah. I talked with Matt a lot over this past weekend, and, I told him I'm very beatable, but you have to show up and then you have to beat me. And showing up is sometimes the hardest part with outside work schedules and life schedules, because I've got my schedule set where I can come and play these things. So I play a lot of tournaments. So you have to play as many tournaments as me, and then you have to play better than I do in those tournaments. So
yeah. And I don't know what his schedule's like for the rest of the summer. I think he's planning on playing at least most. He might miss 1 or 2, but we'll see if he's still in the lead or he's still somewhere around the lead in the points race. I know he wants it too, because there's some people who they're in the lead in the points race, but they don't particularly care if they win the points race. But I know he wants it. So if he's somewhere around the lead, then I would imagine he'll start making it a point to make the tournament so he can start racking up points.
Well, I've won the last 2 years in A flight, so I definitely want to win. Matt wants to win, and Justin has openly talked about winning A flight. So the top 3 guys in A flight.
He's got to start coming to more tournaments then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I've
you
said
can't
as
miss
much
a
to
2-day
him.
if you're gonna win the points race. Like it's really hard to win the points race if you miss a 2-day, in my opinion. If you miss a 1-day, that's you can make that up. But even if you don't play in a away tournament, if you miss a 1-day, that's generally not a big deal. But if you miss a 2-day and somebody gets those 900 points, that's hard to do. And I know that the person who got 900 points is no longer in the A flight, but missing a 2-day is a big blow to your chances to win the points race. So he's going to have to go to a regional or something, I'm thinking, if he wants to get you guys.
At least one. He's probably got to go to 2. He's probably got to get his full complement, because if Matt said he's going to Big Cedar Lodge, and I'm going to be at Big Cedar Lodge, and then
Yeah.
if Matt goes to French Lick, and I'm going to go to Scottsdale, I've
And
already
you
paid
each
for
have
both
3.
those tournaments.
Yeah.
We'll both have 3, so he's got to make his way.
Justin will have to win out or something like that locally if he's not going to go to a regional. Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. And you always say it. That's the biggest thing to win in the points race is just actually playing all the tournaments. Yeah.
Matt, I don't know if we said this earlier, but Matt is the only one in A flight to win since the winner this past weekend got bumped up to champ flight.
To win and stay in A flight. Yeah.
We've now bumped 2 people from A flight to champ flight. If 2 new players in Chicago, they win, they get bumped up. Thunderhawk was won by somebody from Milwaukee.
Right.
And then South Bend, both Blackthorn and Warren was won by Marcus Worth, who is on the verge of being bumped up to champ flight up in Michigan.
Right.
Taking a look at his number, he was something like 4.1 or 4.0 or something like that.
Yeah, so he's close. Yeah.
And he won both of them in South Bend, and then the next
and then
week
he won the regional, right? He won American Dunes. Yeah. Yeah.
He's just
so I'm surprised he hasn't been bumped already. I'm surprised that didn't get him enough to bump him up. But yeah, he's close. But yeah, that's a funny little fun fact for us that the only A flight player in Chicago to win in A and still be in A is Matt, and he didn't even win in Chicago. He won in South Carolina.
There it is. Well, going to B flight, Paul takes over the lead with his win this weekend. Lewis has moved down to second. Michael has moved up to third. Wally dropping down from A to B had a really good tournament, and he's in fourth. And Nabil had a very good first day, but kind of struggled on day 2. And like we said a couple of times, that playing back-to-back good rounds is really hard, even at the professional level. You come down to our amateur ranks, and it's really, really difficult.
It's even harder. Yeah. Yeah. And we had early in the season, the points leader was Brandon Perillo, who's new, but he's missed the last couple tournaments. And so, like we said, the more you play, better chance you get. And those top 4 names there with Chaplin, Lewis, Mike Prep, and Wally, you can count on them being there at almost every tournament. It's a rarity for those 4 guys. It's a rarity if they don't play one of our tournaments. And so that's why they're there at the top of the list.
Yeah, Wally's getting a little bit older, and he just isn't as long as he used to be. I've played with Wally over the last couple of years many times, and he's just not as long as he used to be, and he just really can't handle the distance in A flight anymore. He needs to be in B flight, and his index really suffered from the length. So going down to B flight, having forward tees a little bit helped him out, and he played really well this weekend at Silver Lakes.
Yeah, he was up there, I think. But I know he didn't finish in the money in B, but he was there someplace. So I agree that's the right spot for him.
I played with him earlier this year at Blackthorn, and it was just too many times where he was hitting 3-wood into par 4s.
Yeah, it's no good. Yeah. And I even try to I've been trying to shorten the distances a little bit this year, but yeah, if you're hitting woods into par 4s, it's like you got to go down a flight. So
dropping down to C flight, Stan Mitchell takes over the lead with his win. He's got 2 wins on the season. Anthony moved up to second place, and he played pretty well this weekend. Chris Bilba is in third. Drew's in fourth, and Ed, who didn't make the tournament this weekend, is dropping down to 5th place.
Yeah, and this is one of those where Stan's got a 600-point lead, but this is one of those where if he misses a tournament, and I don't know if he will, but if he does miss a tournament, he's kind of letting everybody back in it then, right? Because even dropping down to sixth place with Jimmy Barassa, a new member with 1,000 points, there's only 200 points, 215 points between second place and sixth place. So if, say, Stan misses one and one of those guys between second and sixth were to win, then everybody's back in it then, basically. So, he's got a big lead right now and he's playing some great golf, Stan, but he's got to keep it up through the rest of the year if he wants to win.
Dropping down to D flight, Pat Kelly still in the lead. He had a pretty good weekend at Silver Lakes also. I think he finished in the money, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was in second place.
He did. He finished second. Yeah. Still got the lead by a couple hundred over Mike Taylor.
Yeah. Mike Taylor moves up to second. Rimus with his big tournament moves all the way from the bottom of the list up to third place, getting his 900 points. Yusuf in fourth place and Brad holding on to fifth place.
And that's there's a good chance that's it may not be in the same order, but there's a good chance that's your top 5 at the end of the year, because I'm pretty sure all of those guys, you can expect to see all of those guys at just about every tournament. And I believe they're all going to Deer Run, our next 2-day major. So if I had to bet money on it, I would say, I don't know what the order is going to be, but I would say those top 5 will be your top 5 in D at the end of the season. And so you never know, if somebody further down the list wins a 2-day, they get 900 points, they jump up there. But those 5 guys are kind of your regulars going through the rest of the season. So we'll see. It's a long season though, but we'll see what happens.
Well, what do we have coming up?
Coming up, we got a little bit of a break. Just kind of the way the schedule worked out with, when we were putting it together over the winter. So we actually don't have a local event until the last Saturday in June. So June 27th, we'll be back to Pine Meadow. Hopefully we get the tournament in this year, because last year almost everybody did not tee off at all, and we just got rained out and canceled the whole tournament. I was in the lead group. We played 2 holes, and then all of a sudden storms rolled in, big flash of lightning came up, and so we pulled everybody off the golf course and we just never went back out. It poured buckets for a good 3-4 hours, and then eventually it did stop raining, but by then we had to make a call, because we said, we can't keep people sitting here forever waiting to go back out. And even by then the course was saying that they were not going to be comfortable with letting 60 people out there tearing up the golf course in carts and everything after that much rain. So last year we tried and then just made the decision to cancel the tournament and call it a rain out. So I'm hoping that this year we actually get to play and we get it in. And then 2 weeks after that, we've got what I'm looking at as our flagship event of the season. And that's the 2-day major at Fire Lake and Deer Run out in the Quad Cities. So that one will be, Pine Meadow will be a little warm up for everybody. One more competitive rep before we go to Deer Run 2 weeks later.
Yeah, that should be our flagship tournament moving forward. Fire Lake and Deer Run. Fire Lake is one of those courses. It's a par 70 and it's a little quirky on a couple of the holes. So you kind of have to play it more than once to get comfortable with some of the shots that are required from you. And Deer Run we're playing a week after the PGA tournament. It's in pristine condition.
Yeah, it'll be in great shape. And I would assume that, they're going to slow down the greens a little bit and they'll have cut the rough the time a week goes by. So we're not going to get like the exact tournament conditions, but it should still be in awesome shape. And I'm hoping that we still have a decent amount of the spectator stands still up. We should. I'm not sure exactly what, but we should have some spectator stands still up. So it should be a good tournament. And Fire Lake even, obviously there's not a course that's hosting a PGA tournament, but real nice property, good spot to kind of just hang out as a group out back of the clubhouse. And like you said, a good golf course, good Nicholas design golf course. Like there's tricky spots. Like like you said, you gotta kind of know where you're going on a couple holes. So having some course knowledge helps. But yeah, should be a great tournament. Got the warm up at Pine Meadow first, and then we'll go there. And then once we get to starting with the week of Pine Meadow, actually, there's only actually 12 weeks of the season left between Pine Meadow and our tour championship at Whitetail Ridge and Mistwood in the second week of September. So in that 12-week span, though, we've got 8 tournaments. So we're talking about the points race and showing up for every event. That's where you need to be if you're trying to win the points race. And actually, within those 8 events, there's actually 2 regionals that I know a lot of people are playing. So you could almost call it 10 out of 12 because there's the Big Cedar Lodge regional that you were talking about, and then the regionals at French Lick and TPC Scottsdale Labor Day weekend. So that stretch between the end of June and mid-September that's going to be where the points race is won or lost for every flight and every tour, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Season's coming fast and furious at this point. Well, that'll be a wrap for Silver Lakes. Thanks for joining me again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great time. And the last plug that I'll say is that we should be set to run this one right back next year. I already talked to Silver Lakes, and so they've already got us penciled in same way, first weekend in June next year. And we might do the same thing, maybe not exactly the same, but we will probably do something with our same sponsor with Tommy T's Tavern as well. I don't know if we'll do the whole thing that we did with the logoed ball marker chips and the live entertainment and everything. I'm sure we'll try to think of something else to do. But most likely next year we'll do the same thing. First weekend in June, Silver Lake, first 2-day major of the season, and expect to see something from Tommy T on that one as well. So it's a nice little staple to have on the schedule going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Bill, thanks for joining me. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, sounds great. Thanks.